Welcome in. It is Super Bowl Sunday. RGR fans, Chiefs fans around the world, welcome back in. Giving you some bonus footage right now as we get you up to date on rumors and what's going on right now in preparations as the team is starting to arrive at the stadium for Super Bowl 58. It comes down to this. Jerick McKinnon's available. Kadarius Toney isn't. And there's going to be some question about just how fast it takes Travis Kelce to make you cry. Yes, you. There's a lot. Welcome to RGR Football. Having some fun today. Got a lot of content coming for you. If you missed over on Locked On Chiefs, the first part of my discussion with Randy Mueller, former GM around the league and a guy that knows all kinds of information inside the league, is over on Locked On Chiefs. Check that out pregame. We're going to have some of that content, some of that right here on RGR, and we're going to have a bunch of it over on NFL 33. So make sure you subscribe to all of them. But this is where we are with the updates. As we get going today, team coming in, it is still a game time decision on Jerick McKinnon. But as we discussed yesterday and the day before, any snaps that you get from him could be a significant bonus because of just how specifically he adapts and enhances the offense in a way that I don't think anybody can truly prepare for, even if you have a linebacker group that is led by Fred Warner. Greenwood is a solid linebacker as well, but trying to defend McKinnon out of the backfield when you have Travis Kelce, when you have the slot guys that they have, is going to be very, very difficult. I'm not as big a Greenlaw guy as a lot are. I do think there are gaps, and I think physically, athletically, he can be taken advantage of, particularly by the guys on this particular roster. Tia, the report is that McKinnon is available, but he's expected to be playing in the Super Bowl, but it's still a game time decision. There's still a possibility that he doesn't actually take the field. We'll see. But right now, the latest information that I have is coming around from that report from Jeff Darlington originally that then fed into a couple of conversations I just recently had this morning. But Jerick McKinnon adding to the offense is a big thing. And as they get around, you can see that I'm just double checking the latest news here, as you can see some guys actually getting to the stadium. Here on X, I try to keep remembering that that's what it's called. Likewise, it sounds like, and then this won't be confirmed until the inactives are actually released, which has not happened yet, to my dismay. I'm trying to keep it up there, is that Kadarius Toney is not going to suit up and play for this game, which is a long, long way from what we saw previously when he had a role in the Super Bowl that is not just about scoring that touchdown. It was about the kick return that really set up the entire thing. So I'm a little bit back and forth. I'm of two minds about this. Kadarius Toney has not been reliable. He has not been functional this season. I am not 100% on what the actual reason is. My guess is that as a malcontent, as a guy who you just don't want to put that pressure on in this particular game where he hasn't contributed in the last couple of months. December 17th is the last time. I mean, we're talking 7-8 weeks. So I think that's significant, and it makes a whole lot of sense to probably not rely on him. The fact that he's not even supposed to be suited up for game day, I think that is a little bit significant. As a healthy scratch, that tells you more about the future than it tells you about the past. So I don't know what's going to go on there. I would have loved to seen this kind of round out and have him be in a position to provide that kind of burst, that kind of lift to the special teams units. But evidently, it doesn't feel like that's in the cards. Again, there's not a final decision, but that's what we understand at this point. That's why this show is titled Rumors and Updates, because some are actual updates and some are rumors. So we're going to continue to go with that, as maybe we'll even get some information here as we go. Tyler, there shouldn't be a delay. I'm not having any internet issues this morning or this early this afternoon as I expected. So the other thing is, it looks like Taylor Swift has made it to the States, got into LAX. I expect to see her at the game at this point. There's no reason to think she can't make it to Vegas in that time. And I know people are kind of tired of the Taylor story, but I think it's just another part of the story of this franchise evolving to this point. So I'm going to take it as a positive. I'm going to take it as just that much more energy, because it doesn't matter whether you like her or you don't, or you're tired of seeing her on the broadcast. One thing is for certain, she brings energy to Travis Kelce, and Travis Kelce brings energy to this locker room. And as of last night, the leaders of this team were asked to speak to the rest of the roster, as they generally are. If we saw the Kelsey series on Amazon, you saw how Jason spoke to his teammates the night before the last Super Bowl. It is emotional. It is significant. It is something that both focuses you and hypes you up and gets you emotionally tuned in. And a lot of reports today coming out about, yes, it was Patrick Mahomes. Yes, it was Chris Jones, but it was Travis Kelce that kind of brought down the house to the point where he moved some of his teammates to tears. That's a positive thing the night before. I don't know that you want to do that right before the game. The game's got to be a lot more hype and a lot more energy, right? But that is significant in that that's just how much you lay it on the line. And I think when you can get that kind of lift from your leaders, that goes a long way as well. We've all heard just about how locked on Patrick Mahomes has been all week long. That only goes that much farther. So I think that it's great, and I think that emotion should carry over. If they come out a little overhyped, I'm okay with that. I think they will settle. I'd rather that than say that they're too concerned about execution, that they don't have the energy. Energy is a big thing for this roster and across this league. So there's a huge thing that I think you get from that. A lot of people in the chat excited about McKinnon. I am as well. We've seen that we don't need a ton of time for Jerick McKinnon to be ready to contribute to a ball game. And the ad-lib ability that he and Patrick have, I mean, it's not Travis Kelce level, but it's pretty significant. A lot of the little timed passes that are ad-libbed between the two of them is very significant. I'm pretty excited. And for those of you talking about Willie Gay, yes, Willie Gay is good to go. He's been off the injury report. He has been solid and prepped for quite a long time. A great week and a half here of preparation. Willie should be 100% good to go, and I think he has an impact on this ball game. I'm just double checking here. Joe Thuney was officially put on to IR yesterday. Mike Pennell was brought up for this game, and obviously we talked about Jerick. So a tough break for Joe Thuney when I know he's been trying to work through that. I think you just get to the point where if you're not able to be 95% to contribute to this ball game, you're probably hurting the team overall trying to do that. Now, I think the field looks great. I love that it's the yellow. I'm wearing this for the end zone, to tell you the truth. I like that look. And I think that's another thing that's unique and special and will hype up this particular roster. So I'm into that as well. We'll take a couple of your questions here. That's the bulk of the updates and the rumors that are going on right now as we get ready. Rice, I like that. Have a KC strip. It's probably good luck. My wife's got a whole spread cooked up, like desserts and shape of footballs and the whole 9 yards. So I am pretty pumped right now, and I'm just looking through your guys' comments. Jesus, my guess is that's where it's leading. By putting off surgery to this point, that tells me that it's thought of as a partial tear, what they call a strain. I know he got a second opinion, so my guess is that didn't find that it was complete, which means they've been trying to let it heal on its own. My guess is they will then go in and clean that up, and then they will go in and repair it. The level of repair or cleanup is really just a debridement and making sure that things run smoothly, that there's no gaps in the tendons and that kind of thing, in chunks or something that could lead to a later on re-injury. But I think a repair might be in the cards there. Quite frankly, he's a tough dude for making it through this. That is a tough thing to do as an offensive lineman, is to work through a pec tear. So let's see what happens. I don't think it'll affect his next season, but you never know. At his age, things do heal slower. We're going to have to see, but I expect Joe Thuney to be right as rain come regular season next year. It might be a light training camp for him. That's about all I can think of. Chris, I agree. It sucks to be missing both Omenihu and Thuney. Significant things. Gary, thank you for being here and helping us out with the chat. And doing everything that you do, brother. Can't do it without you. I couldn't be manning both things at the same time. It just doesn't work anymore. Grab a couple of questions here, and then we'll dip out. I know you guys got things. I got things cooking, so I just wanted to give you some updates. Why doesn't Andy run power and a PA bootleg to Isaiah and have McKinnon slip out on the screen. They definitely will play action off of power. That particular option, I think, is an interesting one. I think we've seen that before. So I don't know if he's just like holding it back or if he feels that it's overexposed and the matchup just isn't there. So definitely something you could see, Mo. Tyler, is this a redemption game for previous Chiefs players for the Bucs Super Bowl loss? So excited. Yeah, it could be. It's a very, very different team, and I would love to know the numbers. I'd have to go look them all up to see how many guys are left from there. It's more redemption, I think, for the 49ers. The 49ers, even the guys that weren't on the team then, have talked a lot about getting redemption for the last Super Bowl that the Chiefs beat them in with Wasp to Tyreek Hill late. So I think it's more about taking the ring. I'm going to have a ton of new merch ready for you after the game. If they win, if they don't, there'll still be some cool things happening. And if you want to get in the action, I'm going to give you guys a couple of ways that will help you enjoy the game and put whether you want to play daily fantasy sports, you want to put some action out there. These sites help us help you. So one is use the code RGR at Underdog Fantasy. I'm going to put in a couple more tickets here. We got one in yesterday and the day before. We've got a couple of lineups going, and we're going to try to use that. And if you just want to get into the real action, go over to DraftKings and use our code RGR as well. So the code is RGR on both of them. If you want to get in on the betting action, I know a lot of people do. Go ahead and get in there. They are updated constantly, so I think you can do that. And if you guys use our code RGR, it would definitely help us as well. I'm looking forward to getting another lineup in myself. I do think that what's going to happen next is that I'm waiting patiently for the inactives and to see exactly what has been determined. There's going to be a warm-up period first that I think that they're going to go after Jarek to confirm that. So show me. Hope you're doing good, buddy. How much 13 personnel do you think we see from KC? I think it was used early against Baltimore, and it worked well. It certainly did. Now, I think the Niners are probably prepared for it. So I would actually like to see them come out and go balls to the wall and play action hard off of standard 12 or even 11 to open up the deep part and give themselves some room. That's what I would be looking for. And then come back with it, say, mid-first quarter, maybe right after the script, and go to it heavy. And then start landing some body blows and some punches. That's the way that I would approach this. Great question, though. And Jesus, MVP surprise. Chris Jones. I really do think in what could be the pinnacle of his career if he were to really just get to the point and go off. And I think it's there. I think the matchups against the interior threes are probably the best matchups on this ball game at all. And Chris Jones is right in the thick of it. So I do think that it could happen. Hopefully we don't abandon the run. What's your and Dan's score prediction? Jason, we gave our score predictions yesterday on the live stream. I can't remember Dan's. I have it 24-21. But go back and check out yesterday's stream. And they're at the end, of course, and you can check all that back out. We'll see how that goes. If you had to bet on one gadget play being called this game, what is it? A true gadget? I think they're going to run something based off of their full backfield, where Travis is in the backfield, so is Patrick way deep, then two running backs or running back and Sky or something like that. And rather than doing the inside pitch that they generally do off of that, I think you're going to see an option to the far side to get out to the edge, because I think that they've loaded the film so much towards the inside runs. I think that that's where you can make something. And you know that they have some historic something, turn around, ring around the rosy something planned. I'm looking forward to seeing that because I don't have a clue what that could be right now. Jared, thank you for the support, buddy. Appreciate you. Do you think Hardman will get some opportunities today? I placed a bet on him and I want to hear the expert analysis. I'm glad that you did, because I said earlier in the week that I think McCole might be the surprise. I know everybody wants to go back to MVS now. They made a couple of postseason catches like he generally does. But I think the coverage is going to be soft. I think the expectation is going to be soft on the 49ers part for McCole. And I think especially if you're running the ball well and you're using the play action, you're bringing those safeties down, and that is the recipe to turn McCole loose. But I will say this, it can't be just flat go routes. It's got to be posts or big overs so that he can get his shoulders partially turned to look back, because tracking the ball overhead is not what McCole does. And I think, unfortunately, they put him in some of those situations where he's been in a little bit too straight line, 9 routes and that kind of thing that are just straight and make it harder on him. So look for him when he lines up wide on one side and starts streaking across in an arc. Then I think they're in business. Bob, Dan's doing his family thing, getting ready for me. This is just me running the channel whenever I have a tendency to hop on. So that's Ryan going rogue without Dan. That's I didn't even tell Dan I was doing this, so that's the way that it goes, buddy. Let's see here. Game starts at 0:30. Well done, Tyler. Well, I'm glad that you're up, and I hope you enjoy it. I could get to 3:30 a.m. if I had to. I wouldn't dig it, but hey, I'm here. What can we expect from Sky? That's a great question, Jesus. And they've been very, very, very small with any updates about him. And I do think he's a guy that they're going to work in some. I think the Jet has been very successful against this team, so I do think you're going to see it. The question is going to be, I think they can even run it with Rasheed, but I think that would be the perfect thing for Sky to get in the action a little bit. That's what I thought, that if they were going to activate Tony, that's what they would look to do with it. But I just can't tell you at this point. So, Cody, I hit it yesterday. Like I said, 24-20. Sorry, 24-21 is mine. And Dan's is, I cannot recall. So go check out the end of yesterday's stream and it'll be on there. Chiefs linebacker plays the X factor for me. What do you think? I mean, yeah, it's certainly got to be, but even more so, I think it's about how they're getting used. And that comes back to Spags for me, fighting Kyle Shanahan in design, in placing his players in the right spot, because it's not just the linebackers, it's which gap they're lined up in and who is maintaining gap integrity and how they're attacking, not just the run, but getting in Brock Purdy's face as fast as possible right in front of him. I think that's going to be key today. Tyler, you are absolutely right. In Spags, we do trust. The fact that the team is that gung-ho, that tells me all I need to know, is that they're gonna do whatever he says, and whatever he says, if it does have to be adjusted to, they're tuned in, they are locked on to make those adjustments on the field when they have to. So I'm feeling great. If you guys would like and sub and hit the bell if you're not one of us already, we would definitely appreciate that. That would be great. Does anyone know if they're having Field Pass? I do not know. I would assume they are, but I can't guarantee it. Matt, love that I'm thinking something along the lines in Gadget. Okay, rock and roll. Let's see. Cole, thank you. Appreciate you. Do you think that we can stop the Niners run game? Stop it? I mean, as in like less than 40 yards rushing as a team? No, I don't see that in the cards. But if you keep them under 150 yards rushing, you're doing your job and you're in position to win this game. If you can keep McCaffrey out of the end zone, you're doing even better. And I think that's up for grabs as well. Thanks, Cole. Could Chiefs in the first half get up early like the Lions did? Yes, they could. The difference is the Chiefs defense is able to maintain that lead a lot better than the Lions defense is. So that is one of my cores that we went through in the game plan yesterday. Is I want them to get out to a lead, and I think that is going to be the thing that does it. Red, I have to look on DraftKings at the money line. Hang on a second, and I'll be able to tell you right now. It is Chiefs plus 1.5. So still the underdog. Hey, if you want to get in it. I think it's crazy, but that's me. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here in a second, folks. A couple more comments. A lot of people are saying that they see Brock is nervous. Where are they seeing that? I have no idea. I haven't seen anything on him today at all yet. So Kyle Shanahan was talking to him up yesterday, but I don't know. What shirts will the O-line come up with? That's a good one. I think it's more about the parade, and we'll see what the final result is. That's good. That's going to be what it is. I don't know if they'll have one for today. Is it me, or does it feel rigged for the Niners? Everyone and everything is about the Niners. I don't know. I don't think anything's rigged. I think that's all a lot of BS, but I think it depends what media market you're in and what media you're listening to tell you the truth. Captain Freedom, I appreciate you. If you guys would hit that like, I would appreciate it. We're going to be live for you post-game, so make sure that you are back and ready to hear as the confetti's fall, and we'll walk you through it, and we'll give you all of our takeaways. So I hope you guys will be here. Concerns about CJ and Pop limited in practice? Not at all. I think everything's all good. By the way, it's pronounced Chan Demand. Okay, rock and roll. Glad I'm catching on to that, buddy. I appreciate you. No, I don't have any concern about them in practice. I think everything's going to be fine. We did before, we will do today. I like it, Terry. I like it a lot. And Caroline, thank you very much. Okay, folks, I'm going to step aside. I got stuff on the grill, so we're going to go check that out. You guys have a great afternoon. We'll be live post game. If anything serious breaks before then, I'll jump on and give you a little bit more news. So stand by and get ready for Super Bowl 58.